The 5-second rule by Mel Robbins is a simple rule that does not involve you picking up food off the floor. Its message is to become the greatest version of yourself. You may be wondering how one simple tool can have life-changing abilities. Everyone has greatness inside them, even at their lowest points in life. The rule gives both the clarity to hear the greatness and the courage to act on it. Every single person makes small decisions throughout the day. The decision to wake up early, to exercise, to eat healthy. However, it only takes 5 seconds to make these decisions. Decisions that can turn into life-changing habits. In order to perform this rule, you must count backwards. The reason you do this is also the reason why it is only 5 seconds. The backwards counting distracts the person from all the excuses associated with the action. It is also the reason why you only count backwards from 5, as you only have 5 seconds to act before the excuses drown out any possible actions you would take. Researchers and psychologists have described the 5-second rule as a metacognition tool. Metacognition is being able to understand your own thought process and altering it in a way that benefits you. The rule is not only a form of metacognition, but also it is a starting ritual in the language of habit research. A starting ritual activates your prefrontal cortex, a part of the brain that regulates behavioral functioning. The rule also implements work from American psychologist Julian Rotter, which is based on his theory of locus of control. This is an individual's belief system based on experience and factors that the person attributes to success or failure. One major factor that affects the locus of control is the bias towards action. Bias towards action opens up new opportunities, challenges, and creates a different outlook on life. You no longer dream about what if or if only I did that. You immerse yourself in opportunity and the possibility of great change. In chemistry, the activation energy is the minimum amount of energy needed to start a chemical reaction. Chemists have found that the initial amount of energy is much higher than the average amount of energy needed to keep the reaction going. Therefore, the initial amount of energy to start any good habit is a lot higher than it is actually to maintain it and keep the habit going. Psychologists have applied this concept of activation energy to human behavior and are claiming that this is one of the reasons why creating new habits are hard. However, when using the 5-second rule, it negates all the mental energy used for excuses and turns it into energy used to carry out the action. The 5-second rule can also be used as a tool against procrastination. There are actually 2 forms of procrastination, one being productive and the other being destructive. Productive procrastination is a critical component of any creative process. Research has shown that this form of procrastination can be very beneficial for people working on a task or project with no looming deadline. In particular, it helps when people meet a brick wall and become stuck. The time away allows them to come back with fresh eyes, with different thoughts and ideas, to overcome the roadblock. Destructive procrastination is the constant need for the mind to get away from the task that needs to be done, regardless of the negative consequences. This form of procrastination is not to avoid the task at hand, rather the stress that comes with it. It is nothing more than a subconscious desire to feel good right now in order to have that stress relief. Many people blame this sort of procrastination on workload or their laziness in doing so. However, it is a coping mechanism. We procrastinate to release stress. So in the meantime, more work builds up, which leads to more stress and therefore more procrastination. And on the cycle goes. There is a way to beat procrastination, and the first step is forgiveness. An expert from Carleton University co-authored a paper about students who forgave themselves for procrastinating. They had been less likely to procrastinate on the next test than those who had not. Psychologists say forgiveness is important, as it allows a person to remove the guilt with previous experiences of procrastination in order to move forward in a confident and more focused manner when tackling new challenges. Step 2 is positive projection. Researchers have stated that this form of projection motivates an individual to strive forward and meet the positive version of themselves that they projected in the future, giving the person the confidence and the want to act today in order for a better tomorrow. Researchers have backed up the power of positive projection, stating that if a person is visually shown a possible version of themselves at the age of 70, they are twice as likely to save up for their retirement. And the final step, step 3, counting backwards from 5 and getting started on whatever needs to be done. Studies have shown that the brain remembers unfinished tasks better than finished ones. So once you make the start on the task, your mind will be constantly reminding you to finish it. So getting started is winning half the battle. Mel Robbins has used this rule to beat her anxiety and the nerves she feels when speaking on stage. Every time she experiences these feelings, she uses the rule and counts backwards, whilst reminding herself that the feelings she's experiencing are not negative, are in fact feelings of excitement. This is known as the anxiety reappraisal technique. Studies have taken a number of students that were going to sit an exam. They used this technique to reframe the feelings of nerves as excitement. The results showed that the students who had used this technique performed much better on the exam. This simple technique can be used to combat many situations, removing bad habits and replacing them with better ones. Just remember, you are only 5 seconds away from making a decision that could change the rest of your life. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.